What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. I want to talk about the two types of people that narcissists need around them and the reasons why they need these people around them. But before I get into it, I want to mention that when dealing with a narcissistic partner, you must understand after the fact, you're going to think about them way different than you did when you were all in love and so deep into the relationship and used to doing things a certain way. You're going to start to think about it different because at one point it's going to be so good until it's not. And when it gets to the not part, that is when a person finally realizes that they were being abused, manipulated, and controlled. So, to give an example of that is, say the person was vocal about how good they were treated by their partner, and they just put me on top of the world and gave me everything I wanted. That's love bombing. That's a form of love bombing. That's just a way to buy you and to keep you. That's not really love. Material things does not equal love. It's a tactic for narcissists to have their way. It's the oldest trick in the book dealing with the narcissist. When that person realizes that they can do all those things for themselves and it just feels different now, and now I don't have to, like it doesn't matter what you do for me. Other things are starting to show. More of the manipulator starts to show because narcissists get so anxious and to have that power and control over you, they do pretty much anything to keep that position. So now it's like they show you their real face, and they get angry and frustrated, and they may even start to insult you because now you're not responding to the tactics the way you used to. So now you realize that, yeah, it was all good until I realized, well, this is not this is not a good thing that I was bragging on, you know. So people are going to look at it who don't really understand narc abuse. That where at one time you said this. So see, y'all get what I'm saying? Like, people love to throw back up what you said in the past that you so loved about your partner and how good they were to you. That's because you were in a different mindset. You didn't know any better. You didn't get it. You just weren't there yet. So now that you have made it to the point of realizing, like, it was all a narcissistic tactic just to keep control over you, you can share how you feel now on the other side, that you've gotten away from that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And anyone that makes you feel like, okay, you're flip-flopping now, you're saying this when you once said that, it's okay. That's a good thing. That's the whole purpose of escaping narc abuse. Telling how you once felt to now how you feel now, to how you feel now since you've gotten away from it. Simple as that. Don't allow anyone to make you feel bad for telling your story in a different way now. Because that's what they should want for you if they are a real friend and a supporter. Those who get it, they get it. And those who want to understand will be more open-minded to it and not so critical and judgmental of a person's way of expressing himself dealing with narcissists. Because you don't know about it unless you have really dealt with it yourself. I don't care how many times you've studied it. I don't care about the stories you've heard from other people. You're still really not going to get the real feel of it until you went through it yourself. So sorry to be so long about it, in the beginning of this video, because I really didn't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the two type of people narcissists need around them. And those two types of people are enablers and do-gooders. A narcissist, they mimic what they see. They pretend to be people that they're not, and they know if this person is getting a certain type of attention and affection, they want that. The narcissist wants to be the center of attention. They need to be in a spotlight. And they need the enablers around them so that they never take accountability for their actions. Because if a narcissist finally admits to their wrongdoing, it's because, well, honestly, they can't deny it. And no matter which way, they turn, they're still going to be faced with the truth, so they can't run from it. That's the only reason why a narcissist will admit to their wrongs. But they need yes men around them. They need people around him who are going to agree with everything, whether good or bad. Enablers cater to narcissists and praise their bad habits in a joking, lighthearted way, to where they expect other people to just accept it. That's just who they are. It's just something to just laugh about and move on. And everybody's not going to just move on from dealing with somebody like that. Some people are going to be angry to the point where they may want to confront them. Not saying that that's a good way to deal with narc. The best way to deal with them is just to get away from them the best way possible. If you don't have to deal with the narcissist, don't ever feel like you have to, make peace with them in order to prove that you're at peace with the abuse, what happened with you. You don't have to make peace with the narc. There will never be peace with the narcissist. If you feel like that's your way of getting closure, the best way to get closure is to focus on just overcoming the narc abuse and moving on with your life. And that's when the healing starts to take place slowly, but it happens. And that's when you will start to feel at peace with it. You put it behind you. Putting it behind you and doing away with it is a way of making peace with it. Knowing that you cannot change what happened in the past, but going forward, you know how to deal with people like that. So now that you see the signs, God has blessed you with the vision, the spiritual vision, to see who you're dealing with in your future. And so now you can better protect yourself from dealing with things like that again. But you don't have to make peace with the narcissist. They need people around them all the time to make them feel like it's okay to behave that way, because nobody's perfect. No, nobody is perfect. But it's not about, imperfection. It's a whole nother level of delusion. Like, it's okay to do this because God's going to forgive me anyway. That's a very arrogant way to look at something. I wouldn't want to be like that. If anything, you should want to feel like, I hated the way I treated you. I don't like the person that I was. I apologize for being that way with you, for hurting you. It didn't make me feel good seeing you that way. It hurted me to see you that way. That is the right type of apology that you should hear from a narcissist if they truly want to change who they are, which I doubt that that's going to happen. You're not going to hear that type of apology from a narcissist. You're going to hear, I'm sorry that you took it that way. Well, I'm sorry if you felt like that. That's the type of apologies you hear from narcissists, because they're not really sorry. They don't care. They just want you to get over it so they can get you back. And that's why they need those type of people around them who's going to take it in that way and give them a second chance. I've been there. I was hearing the wrong apology for so long, I kept allowing them back in my life. And until I realized that's not how you apologize, and they didn't mean it. And they kept showing me who they are, and I know there's no chance in the world that they would change, and I didn't need them to. My main focus was me, moving on, overcoming what I went through with them, healing. And just, and becoming a better person, so that I make sure those things won't happen to me again. So that's all I really want to talk about in this video. Thank y'all for watching, and I will talk to you soon.